Hey, there you are. Going live, and I'm sure I'll replay this a couple of times off the YouTube channel too. But I'm not at WordCamp Europe. I'm in Kansas. So I'm not at WordCamp Europe. But as I am doing the work here in Kansas, I'm coming across a post that is seemingly excited, talking about this thing with Campus Connect and something that Matt Mullenweg may have said at the thing in WordCamp Europe. So I can't help but think, oh my goodness, is this related to the work I'm already doing? Like, is this like is this a new thing, or is it like, was I part of it? Am I not a part of it? Like, it's just so weird because you get ankle deep in something or knee deep in something, and you're moving along and you think, oh well, I've got this. I'm the one that's doing this. And then all of a sudden you see a post like this, on the global stage. In case you're wondering what's up with my hands, they're dirty. I'm working on my son's car. But I saw this thing about Campus Connect. So here's the thing. I'm already talking at schools. Mañana no Mas is already volunteering time to talk about WordPress at schools. Is it part of my Five for the Future contribution or some official thing? No, it's just something that we're doing because we're passionate about WordPress at our agency. Our agency, me, Kurt Von Onen, we host the Hutchinson chapter of WordPress meetups. So WordPress meetup Hutchinson in Kansas meets the second Tuesday of every month at Sand Hills Brewery. It's been doing that for about a year now. And we run our agency here, which is primarily a WordPress-based agency. We do other work too, but we're primarily WordPress. I'm involved in the Membership Machine Show. I'm involved with Lifter LMS. I do interviews from Mañana no Mas. I'm doing stuff now with the WP Minute. And so, yes, I'm very involved in the WordPress space, even though I'm not at WordPress Europe. So, WordCamp Europe. So I see the post, and people are excited about these new, new opportunities with Campus Connect. Well, I went public about a month or 6 weeks ago about one of the talks I had given at the high school. Now, the high school has an IT department, and they teach coding. Whatever coding is, they teach coding. And, the kids think they're computer kids, and then they wanted to come hear me speak. So about 60 kids came to hear me speak. And out of those 60 kids, I took a poll. Guess how many kids out of 60 have ever heard of the word WordPress? I'll wait. I don't know why I'm waiting. Nobody's live. So out of 60, two kids out of 60. And these are kids that wanted to hear me talk about running an agency. So they're interested in the market. They're interested in the field. They've taken some kind of IT or coding course in high school, but only two out of 60 have ever heard of the word WordPress. So then I asked, how many of you know what open source is? Out of 60 kids, how many kids do you think knew what open source was? I mean, that's what WordPress is all based on anyway. That's what the magic is, right? So out of 60 kids, how many kids knew about open source? Goose egg, baby. Goose egg. None of them. So 2 out of 60 know what WordPress is. They've heard of it, kind of. And 0% know what open source is. And so then I asked the next question. I said, how many of you think you're going to get out of high school and land some magic 6-figure job doing something in IT? And a couple of hands went up. Not a lot of hands, but a couple of hands went up. And I said, how many of you would like to work for yourselves and would like to work for yourselves and have your own company? And a few more hands went up. Okay, great. We're making headway. We are making headway. So then I said, great. How much do you think it costs to start your own agency? How much do you think you're going to have to invest in yourself to start your own agency? Folks, the numbers were all over the place. But you know what number they didn't have? You know what number they didn't know? especially in the state of Kansas. Do you have a laptop and access to the internet? Boom, you're in business. That's it. That's it. Do you have a computer? Yes. Do you have access to the internet? Yes. You're in business. In the state of Kansas, you don't even have to have an LLC to be in business. You can just have a sole proprietorship based off you don't have to register your business. Like in California, you had to register your business and pay $800 and all these things. In Kansas, you don't have to do any of that. They're very small business friendly. So then I looked at these kids and I said, so let's assume you don't have the internet and you don't have a computer. That means for less than $1,000, you can launch your own agency. Folks, I said to these kids, 60 kids, I said, how many of you would be interested in knowing if you've got access to a computer and access to the internet? If I could show you how to make $6,000 before summer, would you be excited about that? And these kids were excited. They were really excited about that. And so that talk launched me into other talks. Imagine that. And so now we're currently negotiating with a couple of organizations here in the city and county of Hutchinson and Reno County, Kansas, to launch an apprentice program. And we named it after the state flower of Kansas, of course, but to start an apprentice program where we take these kids fresh out of school and we say, okay, all the stuff you didn't learn in school, we're going to teach you through an apprentice program. We're going to teach you how WordPress works. We're going to teach you how plugins work. We're going to teach you what themes do. We're going to teach you how to market yourself. We're going to teach you how to have a client needs assessment meeting, how to negotiate with a client, how to fill out a proposal and a request for quote. We're going to show you how to do all these. We're going to show you how to negotiate. We're going to let you sit in on the client meetings. And out of this apprenticeship pool, we're going to do a round robin approach to who gets to be the project manager for different projects. So maybe one day Susie's the project manager for this project. And then we get a new project in and we say, okay, Susie, you're not the project manager for this one. Beth is going to do it. Beth, now you're the project manager. And then as a team, they're going to fill different roles on the team. Maybe one's going to be in charge of design. One's going to be in charge of copy. One's going to be in charge of invoicing. One's going to be we're going to show them the ins and outs of how to run an agency, how to use project management software to get ahead, how to have accountability with a team. And these are things that aren't generally taught in school. School is a great platform for teaching you how to go to more school, but very rarely does school say, hey, let's put the brakes on the school thing and let's go make some money real quick. And so this apprenticeship program is meant to be like a STEM CTE extension where we say, okay, you've got some base knowledge, like you understand what a keyboard is and what a computer does, but let's take this a step up. Let's show you how to go direct to cash. Let's show you how to go direct to revenue. And so that's what we're doing. So I have no idea what this Campus Connect thing is. I don't know if somebody's picked up, the energy of what we're doing here in Kansas, but let me just tell you, Kansas has some of the fastest internet I've ever seen in my life. And you do the research, because I did the research before I moved here. We moved here from Southern California. We escaped the horrible business economy of California and came to Kansas. Why? Because Kansas has an unbelievable cost of living and friendly business atmosphere. So we're able to come here to this small town with super fast internet. We're able to move in our agency, start working with organizations within the town right away. And now here we are, less than 2 years of being here, and we're negotiating with the city and the county to start an apprenticeship program to work with students and teach them how to grow their own agencies. So I have no idea what this Campus Connect thing is. I'm totally interested in it. If WordPress is kicking out some funding to help with these kind of apprenticeship programs, we've already got a fledgling program here in Kansas. I would love to talk to somebody about that. As far as me, I'm getting my exposure on the WP Minute, WP Tonic, Lifter LMS, Mañana No Mas. I'm doing the work. I am putting the messages out there. I am trying to let as many people as possible know that when it comes to membership, learning sites, brochure sites, local startup sites, we have it covered at Mañana No Mas. We have it covered, but I'm not greedy about it. You see, I never assume that if another company comes into town and throws up their tile and starts making websites, I never assume they're taking my piece of the pie. I have an international business. I have people on my team from all over the globe. So nobody is stealing my piece of the pie. All we're doing is baking more pie, baking more pie. Folks, when I looked at those students and I said, how many people have heard of WordPress before? And out of 60 kids, 2 hands went up. And I said, well, let me give you I'll just give you the highlights. I said, I'll just give you the highlights. WordPress is responsible for more than 43% of what you interact with on the internet. Boom. It's open source, which means the code is yours. It's free. You can do whatever you want with it. The code is yours. It's free. So now you are able to park that code wherever you want. And so I think to myself, why not teach these kids about this? The schools aren't doing it. And I tried to think, like, why aren't the schools doing it? I'm not anti-school. I sound anti-school sometimes. I'm not anti-school. But then I started to think about it. Where's the money? Where's the kickback? Where's the revenue? What does the Department of Education get for teaching people about open source software? Probably nothing. What kind of donations, right? Look at the computers and the iPads and all the things that they get gifted from different organizations. And, all of that stuff earns favor. And as a business person looking into that ecosystem, I can see why the schools aren't talking about WordPress. Like, here's the schools going, hey, here's this great free tool that we know of that you could leave school today and make a living for yourself. That's not what the schools want to promote. The schools want to promote, hey, we'll give you a little taste of this, and it's going to take a 4-year degree. You can go off and learn about Adobe over here and Oracle over here and this, and they start learning those kinds of things, or they start learning like how to code to build games for EA Sports and things like that. Why? Because that's what the schools have been entertained by externally. It just makes more sense. Just makes more sense. So an organization like ours is called Sunflower Launch. Subject to change, still in negotiation. But right now we're calling it Sunflower Launch. So Sunflower Launch is the apprenticeship program where we're going to take these kids fresh out of high school and college, and we're going to say, hey, let's put you all in a building, right? And that's foreign to a lot of people already, right? You're already thinking, well, why can't the kids work remote? Because I want them working together. They're already here. They're here. It's a local thing. So Sunflower Launch, y'all come to an office building. We talk about what we're working on. We set some goals. We set some milestones. We hold ourselves accountable to dates and project management. We reach out to local clients. We offer smoking hot deals on putting together websites for local startup companies. And everybody gets an opportunity to play project manager, to play graphic designer, to play web designer, to play with template or theme development, right? And so everyone gets a taste of kind of what they like to do. And at the end, maybe they don't run an agency. Maybe they go, hey, you know what? I'd rather just be a plugin developer somewhere. Okay, great. But at least we gave you the experience to taste it and make your decision. Because like I said, right now, only 2 out of 60 ever heard of WordPress. So I think it's kind of ironic, totally ironic, that I'm sitting here today looking at my feed and I'm seeing things about Campus Connect, which I've never heard of until today. And I hear that. And I think to myself, well, this is exactly what I'm already doing. Like, obviously I need more details, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's what I'm already doing. So if there is some kind of funding or program or something I can plug into for that, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Send it my way. Folks, I seem a little fired up today. It's Saturday. I got projects out the kazoo. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, started working on some marketing for Mañana No Mas, knocked that out, washed the dog, trimmed his face, swept the floors, working on the Honda. So full day. Oh, and by the way, making burnt ends out of a pork belly. It's been on the grill now for 4.5 hours already. We are killing it today. Have a good one. Bye-bye.